here. Okay, so we did start this example last time. I mean, we didn't finish it though, but I really feel better going through it again. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so for this example, okay. So again, you're dividing here, right? You know, doing polynomial long division. Here we have f of x, which is this, and we're dividing by x squared plus 4. So basically, this here is our dividend, and this is our divisor, as you can see. Okay. Not only, okay, so notice also we're missing terms, right? You know, like for instance, we don't have the x to the 4 term here. We don't have x squared here, right? The x squared term, excuse me. So we're using 0 as placeholders. That's what we also do. We're going to use 0 as placeholders as well. We have x squared plus blank plus 4. So we have 0 times x, okay? Well, excuse me. Sorry, we're missing the x term in the divisor. So we put 0 times x as a placeholder. That's what we also like to do. All right. So here's how we set it up. Again, it's just like long division of numbers. What we do, remember, is we divide leading terms. Okay? That's what we do. We divide leading terms. So we're doing x to the 5th divided by x squared. Okay? And what do we get? X cubed. We're going to put the x cubed above this 8x cubed. Okay? That's what we do. We put it above it, right? Because they're like terms. And then we multiply and subtract the product. We multiply and subtract the product, okay? That's what we do next. So this is our product. We have x cubed times x squared is x to the 5th. X cubed times 0x is 0x to the 4. X cubed times 4 is 4x cubed, and we subtract it. So when you subtract, of course, what do? You distribute that negative sign, right? So you have minus x to the 5th, minus 0x to the 4, minus 4x cubed, and so on. That's what we do. Okay. So from here, that's what we do here, okay? Now we subtract, you know, these cancel, of course. I mean, they're both 0, so I guess technically they're not there, but, you know, they still cancel. And we have 8x cubed minus 4x cubed, which is 4x cubed plus 0x squared. You know, the 0x squared we bring down. And now we have to do this process again. And why is that? Well, this difference has degree, right? At least as large as the degree of the divisor. In other words, when this has degree less than the degree of the divisor, or when this difference is 0, then we stop. These intermediate terms here, like placeholders, I mean, technically you don't have to have them. It just helps with keeping everything vertically aligned. So just letting you know. So now we do this process again. So we have 4x cubed over x squared, and that's equal to 4x. So what happens next? The 4x, that goes over the like term of minus 6x. So that's what so the 4x is up here. Okay. Now what do? Same thing, we multiply. We do 4x times this. 4x only times the divisor. And so, right, we multiply, and that's this product here. We have minus 4x cubed, 0x squared, 16x. And we're going to subtract that. We're going to subtract that. So when we subtract it, you know, the 4x cubes are gone. The 0x squares, those are gone also, right? And we have minus 16x, and that's here. That's what we have. Okay. Now, notice we stop because we have minus 16x, right? The degree of this is 1, which is less than the degree of the divisor. But what we do, however, is we have some remaining terms here, you notice, right? We do bring those terms down and combine. That's what I wrote over here as well. We do, however, we do have to bring those terms down, and we have to divide them. Excuse me, we have to not divide, excuse me, we have to combine them. That's what we must do. So we have this. Okay, that's awesome. So our remainder is not going to be minus 16x. It's actually going to be minus 16x minus 6x plus 9, which is minus 22x plus 9, like so. That's what the remainder is. So our quotient is this thing up here, which is x cubed plus 4x. The remainder is this, negative 22x plus 9. And, you know, by the division algorithm, I wrote it like this, as you can see. It's actually a good way to test if you got the right answer, because this equation has to hold. Remember, you have the dividend, right, what's under here. That has to be equal to the quotient times the divisor plus the remainder. You know, that equation has to hold. So that's good. Are there any questions on that? Okay. Well, here's another one I thought would be good to do. Notice here there's no missing terms, so we don't have to put 0 in as a placeholder. Right? So we don't have any missing terms here. Okay? You know, all the terms are there. Same thing with the divisor. So we don't have to use 0 as placeholders. We do, however, have to do this. Like so. Okay, that's great. So just like before, what do? We divide leading terms. You know, 3x to the 4th over x squared, we must divide. So we have 3x squared. When you divide 3x to the 4th over x squared, we have 3x squared, as you can see. Okay. And so from here, okay, what we get then is 3x squared. So that's going to go above 5x squared. Okay, that's what this is going to go above, 5x squared. Remember, you always want to put it above its like term. It's like term. And then just like before, what do? Multiply, subtract. Multiply, subtract. So this is what we subtract. 3x squared times x squared is 3x to the 4. 3x squared times x is 3x cubed. 3x squared times 1, that's 3x squared. Okay, so that's what we have here. Okay, that's good. Now, we want to subtract this. So, we have minus 3x to the 4 minus 3x cubed minus 3x squared, right? You distribute the minus sign. Okay? And so, these cancel, as you can see. These give you minus 10x cubed, right? Here, we have 2x squared. Okay, you know, we're combining terms. And this x we bring down. So notice here, our difference has degree. Our difference has degree 3. Okay? That's what our difference is, degree 3. So what does that tell us? Well, you can probably see from the slide as well that we have to keep going. We keep going. Okay, so let's repeat the process. We have minus 10 x cubed divided by x squared, as you can see over here. And that's equal to negative 10 times x. Okay? Negative 10 times x. And so we have negative 10 times x. Okay, so that's going to go above the like term, which in this case is this x. What do? Multiply it and then subtract. Multiply it and then subtract. That's what we do next, okay? So we have negative 10x times this, and we subtract it. Sorry, that goes down here. My mistake. So we have minus 10x cubed, okay, minus 10x squared, minus 10x. That's what we get here. That's what we get here. So we have minus 10x times x squared, that's minus 10x cubed. Minus 10x times x is minus 10x squared. Minus 10x times 1 is minus 10x. And we're going to subtract that, okay? Well, we subtract, so we distribute that negative, so we get this. You know, negative becomes plus. Then we combine. These terms cancel. These terms can't, excuse me, they don't cancel. They give you 12x squared. X and 10x become 11x, right? And then the negative 2, excuse me, we bring down. So here we have this, and we repeat the process. The degree is 2, the same as the degree of the divisor. So we keep going. So we keep going. Okay. All right. So what do we do next? Well, we have to repeat the process. This is our new dividend, so to say. So we do 12x squared over x squared, which is 12. So what happens? The 12 goes over its like term, which is 2, or negative 2, I guess. And we do the same thing. We multiply 12 times this, the divisor, and that product we subtract. Right? We're subtracting it. And of course, when you subtract, just like before, you have to distribute that minus sign. And so from there, we get this, as you can see. So what happens when you subtract? The 12x squares are gone. We have 11x minus 12x, which is minus x. Okay? And then we have minus 2 minus 12 is minus 14. But now we stop because the degree of this is 1. So altogether then, our quotient is this, and this is our remainder. Are there any questions on this? Just take